you might be my only pseudo ally here.
Pseudo ally. I may have to get into a debate with you here, though. So.
Well, I just don't really like
actually,
the
let's
idea
get into
that all the communist blacks in Africa are trying to, massacre all the, Afrikaners in the bars, and it seems like the communist governments are, something of a media darling here, and you don't hear a whole lot about it. And I was reading about it, and I thought it was unfortunate, and I kind of felt like an asshole, if I didn't just at least come out and, soup up.
But see, here's the thing. You came out here in response to the death of Eugene Terre'Blanche, who himself was...
Well, I mean, that would kind of...
Well, no, that was the catalyst. That was the catalyst. How did you find out about this?
Online.
Through Stormfront?
No, I think on a news site and then Stormfront, yeah.
What was it?
A news site and then Stormfront.
What was the news site?
I think it was FARC or something. I don't know.
FARC?
Yeah. It's like a news site.
Alright, I'll check it out.
Or maybe what really happened, I don't really remember. But, I mean, not a big fan. And I saw all the smear campaigns against the dude where he's like trying to rape his, workers and...
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that because I don't know. Usually
it sounds outrageous.
Usually
it sounds like a smear campaign.
It's outrageous. It's outrageous, but I don't know. I don't know. Is it true? Time will tell. Time will tell. But the fact of the matter is, what we do know about Eugene Terre'Blanche is the fact that he was a neo-Nazi terrorist. He was out there killing people back in the day. He has caused his own people to get killed. He is no better than the communists that you say are killing people in the farmers.
I would say he's definitely better than the communists. But to be honest, I don't know a whole hell of a lot about Terre'Blanche's character. Mm-hmm. All I know is that I've seen a whole lot of news and videos of all the the ANC people getting real riled up about killing a whole bunch of Boers, or however you pronounce it. And
Boers.
Yeah.
Boers.
Boers, but yeah, I mean,
you have the folks out there to do that. You have folks on the extreme on both sides.
Yeah, but they're pretty high echelon. They're pretty high up on the old.
I can say that about Terre'Blanche.
But he wasn't very high up.
He has his moments. Or he's not that high up anymore. He's not as strong as he was anymore because we beat the apartheid system. We killed the apartheid system.
Yeah, which was actually, if you look at it, I mean, there weren't, outrageous numbers of rapes and murders and robberies under the apartheid system. If you want to say there was some equality and sort of, economically and whatnot, I mean, fair enough, but you surely can't say that that's better than, that's
the apartheid system.
That's worse than the way it is now. I mean,
I can tell you right now that it's worse the way it is now. I mean, it's no better. When people are getting raped and murdered, that's not good. When people are living under a dictatorship, that's not good at all. That doesn't help anyway, huh?
It was their country. They built it.
Wrong answer.
They built it.
Wrong answer. It's funny. Someone made a point online that says if you are a white person and you hate black people, Africa might be the wrong continent to be on.
Yeah, I mean...
And when you're in South Africa... And we did the same thing here in America. We did the same thing here in America to the Native Americans.
Yeah, but I mean... That's like how nations are formed. I mean,
no,
that's... I don't know
you can't write it off as shit happens. You can't write it off as shit happens.
I'm not writing it off, I'm just saying that
but
it's kind of the way the world seems to work and has throughout history. I mean,
well, let me tell you something.
Where the people don't debate about how they get their land. And, I mean, back in the day, that's just sort of the way it happened. And, I mean,
okay.
It's just the way the world works.
But if that's your argument, you are basically saying that whatever's happening to those farmers out there right now is just the way it is.
Yeah, and people should, and I would like to help them out in reversing the situation.
But on the other hand, you can't have, you got a car come,
the silent, part of the silent majority that just sort of, twiddles their thumbs and says, well, just because, the media isn't, telling me about it, I can just.
But by the same token, my point is this: if you are saying that taking over a person's country or land is the way nations are formed, is the way things are, then what's happening to those whites who pushed apartheid down on folks, like Eugene Terre'Blanche and others out there, is equally justifiable.
Yeah, it's all justified. I'm just saying I'd like to be a part...
So you want to be on the other side?
I want to be a part working so that all the white people in South Africa don't get raped and murdered all the time.
Okay, how do you feel about the black people?
I feel like that's the same way. I don't think...
Okay, were you against... How do you feel about apartheid? Do you feel that they should live under an apartheid system?
Yeah, probably.
Why? Wait a minute. If you're worried about the unfairness because white... No, that's not what they wanted. Yeah. If that's what they wanted, they would still have it.
But they got international pressure from all angles.
Black people do not want to live under an apartheid system. I can tell you that from experience living here in this country. That black people lived in an apartheid system in this country. We didn't want it. We changed it.
Well, white people did.
Well, that's tough shit for them. Because let's be real.
I do agree that when we talk and talk back and
for those
and
white
stuff,
people in particular,
it seems like
by
in
the way.
the end it's sort of like, you know, on either side. I mean, we can talk and talk, but in the end it does seem to be sort of, you know, might makes right, which is kind of sad, but
That's the thing. Do you want to live in a system where might makes right or right makes right?
Well, right makes right, but I don't know if that's really.
And I don't mean right wing.
No, I just don't know if that's realistic. You know, it seems a little.
Why isn't it?
utopian,
Why?
You know,
Think about it.
crazy.
Why isn't it? Why isn't it?
I don't think it's ever worked before.
It's worked before. It's worked before. Number. There's areas in this country where it's worked. There's sometimes where we falter.
This country's falling apart.
This country is falling apart because we want to evolve. Evolution is always going to result in things changing.
You can't change human nature like that.
That's not human nature.